Hey everyone, this is Danish here from Tech Radar. With me is Sam, and today we're checking out the MG RX8 in its Black Edition. The MG RX8 is the largest car that MG produces. It's a massive 7-seater, it's a 4-wheeler, and most importantly of all, it is very affordable, right?
Indeed.
Our friends over at IEM, who are their official distributors, send it over, and first of all, we thank them for that. But Sam, initial impressions, tell us a bit about like the engine and stuff like that. What are people getting in this car?
Honestly, for me, super impressed. Like 2-liter turbo, 6-speed automatic, a little bit older drivetrain overall, but then you factor in the price point, the materials, everything. It's not bad.
It's not bad, right?
Not bad.
I mean, when I first saw the car initially, I expected to find, well, what in the market is being called that Chinese-ish feel. And I was...
Don't really get a Chinese feel.
It's
nice.
The car's not bad in any shape or form, and I like the fact that everything that's given to you is given to you because you have to have it, but it's not ultra luxurious. So that's something that I'm really enjoying. Before we jump into technology and everything that's available in the car, I mean, very quickly, what do you think of this whole Black Edition? So it's... the car is black, logos are black, rims are black, black roof rails, black interior, black everything. What do you think of this full spec version of the car?
It's definitely black, everything. I like it overall. I think it's nice. It's a little bit understated.
Yeah.
I think for the Black Edition though, you pay about 5,000 dirhams
5,000
extra
dirhams
over
more,
the RX8.
Right.
But I would probably go with the other trim version because it's like a dark brown leather interior.
Yeah.
Looks it's preference.
I know.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
right?
it's very subjective. Yeah. I think I liked the black version, but just without the roof rails. I don't know why the roof rails add an unnecessary amount of let's say, I don't know what the word is, but
sportiness?
No, it's that thing that makes it over the top, the whole all black everything. It makes it over the top for me, but I don't mind the whole black part. We're out now and we're taking the car out for a drive. Now, I've driven this car quite a bit. Now, I was very confused on why such a large car had a 2-liter turbo engine instead of your regular 3.5 liter V6s. Fuel efficiency, I guess, but at slower speeds, the car is super sluggish, right? To me personally, so like when you're at signals, signal to signal, that kind of driving, you're just like constantly forcing the car. Start stop is very difficult.
Sluggish. It's like lethargic in its movement.
But when it comes to higher speeds, highway, and luckily we live in a city where most driving is highway driving, so it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was nice. We went out. We were doing 120. The RPM was around 2,100.
Yeah.
Nice.
That wasn't bad. So I think the audience that they're aiming this car at, which is, let's say, your family amateur adventure audience who'd like to get on the highway, go to Korfakan, Ras Al Khaimah, Oman, that audience I think won't mind the kind of drive that it is.
Not at all. And
right?
I mean, we've seen some footage as well. It seems
off-road capable. Not hardcore, but sufficient for a little picnic in Korfakan or whatever.
Exactly.
Fair.
Exactly.
Okay, now as far as fuel goes, now this is something I guess I'd need your help with understanding. But ideally, a 2-liter turbo should be fuel efficient.
As long as you stay out of the turbo, it generally will be relatively fuel efficient.
Right, but then with this car, what I've noticed is I hear the turbo so often, even at lower speeds, when it's trying to lug the car along, is where I think it loses out the most, because when we got the car with a full tank, it showed about a 470 kilometer range.
Okay.
And I've definitely crossed that on the car. So I just kind of wondered, would a 3-liter V6 have just been a more flatlined idea compared to this, which is averaging out on highway versus traffic driving?
I think it really depends on the use case.
Fair.
If you're using it on highway, it probably would be negligible between the two.
Right.
But we've got a combination, right, at the end of the day. So I think probably the 2-liter turbo option is more economical over the long run. But
Fair.
it comes down to the individual user.
Coming to tech, okay? So I personally think, as someone who has actually seen a lot of cars in this range right now, there's a nice amount of tech in this car. One thing that MG does, and if you haven't seen, check out our video of the MG GT, a very nice, small, affordable car. That one as well was all screen. So this one's got a 10.1-inch screen and everything is on it. There's barely any buttons anywhere on this in this car. On the screen, you've got their own operating system, which I don't really care much for. You've also got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but unfortunately wired, and unfortunately... okay, yeah. So like I've adjusted here with a very small cable because I don't like cables all over the place. But unfortunately, Type A. I would have liked to see Type C, but as we'll discuss, I guess, a little later in the end of this video, a lot of compromises have been made to provide certain features. But yeah, what do you think of the main 10.1-inch display?
For me, tech-wise, inside, all the bells and whistles that you would expect. Like I say, plug in, CarPlay, happy days, that's all you need. I mean, it's got a little digital display on the instrument cluster. Right. And then even from a tech standpoint, you've got like xenon headlights. Yeah. You've got a power side step. Like, overall tech, blind spot monitoring, tire pressure monitor, everything.
It's got a lot of stuff, and it provides you all the information that you need. That's one thing I really appreciate about the car, that it gives you that little feel of luxury, but just enough, which is something I really like. But apart from that, over here we've also got the air filtration unit.
That's super cool.
That is super nice. Now, someone like me who is a chronic sinus patient, I loved it. Every time I would switch the car on and you'd notice that the air needed cleaning, and just click the filter on and boom, in a few seconds the filter kicks in and you're good to go. So that was really nice to see. It does only recordings of PMI 2.5, which is not bad at all. That's more than enough in the environments that we live in, especially with sand and dust and stuff like that. So I appreciated that. But one thing, and you and me played with this a lot, was the speakers on this car.
Yeah, the sound system's got some funky stuff going on. Yeah. But I think we figured it out.
So, backstory, initially when we got the car did this weird thing where, and maybe if you buy a new car you might have this problem, so I hope that this helps you guys out, but the car did this weird thing where it would, as soon as you toggle the volume beyond 2, the car would go crazy. They would just be so loud.
Yeah, and didn't have much modulation in the volume control, put it that way.
And then we noticed that there are not 1, not 2, but 4 loudness settings in the car. And all of those are activated together. So, well, the poor little 8 speakers of this car didn't have an option but to scream their lungs out. So well, the little advice we have as far as speakers are concerned is, as soon as you get this car, if you get this car, switch off everything, because
loudness off, go into the equalizer, set that to flat,
to default,
bass, treble, everything set it to flat.
Because it's okay because the speakers are very, very average. They're nowhere in competition to, let's say, Bose offered in Nissan or anything like that, but they do the job perfectly fine as long as you switch off all these settings. So if you get an MG or an MG RX8, you do that the first thing you get into the car. Alright, so what else do we have in the car tech-wise?
Tech-wise, we've got also power lift tailgate. Okay. So convenient, very easy to use. And in the back, I think you've got a Type A USB charging port. Correct. And then surprisingly, it's also got a 240 plug. So
I was so surprised to see that. I was so surprised to see that. Like, so nice. It clearly shows that they know that if you're kind of out and about for your adventure, you need something like that to charge things up. Whatever. So one cool thing about the tailgate that you mentioned earlier was that and I really appreciate when brands kind of attach this detail, is that the tailgate in the settings is adjustable by height.
No way.
Yeah, so like for example, right now it's at its 100% setting, which is a bit of a stretch for me. You can set it down all the way up to 50%, so that's really nice for anyone, like whatever, tall, short, they can adjust it, and yeah, fair enough for both of us. So that's something I really liked. So if you're enjoying this content, or if you have any advice for us, we've recently started with cars, we're still learning, we're still going along. Please do pop in your feedback in the comments below, and we'd love to know what you want to see or how you'd like our content changed. All right, Sam, what do you think about the car? Like, let's say we're talking, tell me the reasons you'd tell someone to buy this car.
If they're looking for something affordable,
first and foremost,
7-seater, and overall reasonable, decent package. You don't feel, oh, it's missing this, it doesn't have that, oh, this is cheap, this is not that great.
Right?
It's nice. It's
yeah,
nice
I genuinely liked it, and as someone in the market right now looking for a car approximately in this price range, I'm very impressed by what it offers. There are sacrifices, which we'll discuss in a minute, but there's a lot on offer. Like, for example, the simplest thing, a lot of people come to me like, oh, Chinese car, oh, I don't know, will it last?
Stigma.
Will it last like a Toyota?
No, but it's got what, 6 years, 200,000
unlimited kilometers warranty, and IEM constantly has offers for the car, constantly. So you can get it with service, without service, everything. And I think that's a real plus point as far as the car is concerned. For the past 4 days, have been driving this car around, and I cannot see a reason for someone who's looking for a car in a budget not to buy this.
Yeah, definitely a consideration.
Yeah.
Go check it out, take it for a test drive.
Definitely,
see what you think.
Definitely an option.
Yeah.
All right, why shouldn't someone buy this?
I guess if they're the most brand conscientious, or they have that whole stigma with Chinese vehicles, but like, give it a go, you know, open your horizon.
But I think that's actually one of the reasons not to get it, that if you're one of those people that needs that brand satisfaction, that guarantee, like, let's just be honest, the Toyota and guarantee are synonyms for each
reliability,
other, right?
Longevity.
That's one reason. The other reason that I would not consider this car, and this is not generic, sorry, this is not only for MG, it's quite generic, which is that there is a certain lightness and a little fragility I feel when I drive this car. It doesn't feel as weighted as a huge 7-seater feels. Like, I don't know if you in the audience could see it, but we just passed a patrol just passed us. We're at the same height, same length as a patrol. Funny enough, this car's wading depth is the same as a patrol, but it doesn't have that heft,
sort of presence, you know, on the road from like a psychological standpoint.
that we're used to. And again, I'm not saying that you should always have it and that's the reason not to buy it, but
that's something you would consider. At the end of the day, that's what you're buying,
in a large car.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, we like that large, hefty feel, and that's missing. But apart from those nitty-gritties, I don't see why someone shouldn't get this car.
Yeah. And what are we looking at then, price point for the black?
So the black is 119,000.
Okay.
Remove all the black color, and the basic, what is called the Lux model, is 114,000.
Which is the one I like, that comes with the brown leather.
Correct. And then you've got the one step below, which is somewhere in the 90,000 range.
Okay.
And then there's also a 2-wheel drive option, but unfortunately that's not available in the market right now.
Yeah.
But I cannot see a reason why someone should not walk into the MG showroom and take a look at this car if they want a large 4-wheeler.
Yeah, no reason why not. Give it a go. Try it.
100%. All right, if you liked this video, if you liked what we showed, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.